Would you, if you could go back and change anything?
We would have had
20 years or 30 years ago. Would you have done it? Would you have changed? What would you have done if
we should have the things that we've done in the last 13 years. If we had done some of it, nobody had the vision. Let me tell you. I'm going to give you.
But stay on that question though.
I want to give you something. Bill Klein was a planning director in the 80s. And there's a quote by him in the New York Times article that he did. He was part of an article in the New York Times in 1987. His quote was, "My biggest fear is the underlying zoning and what's allowed." There's the Central Fire Station sign.
Yeah,
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah, it's nice.
I'm glad that's there. I knew they were going to move it, but that's nice to see.
It is.
Because that used to be down
Yeah, that's
where
right.
that was.
Sure.
So,
that's great.
So it's got a crack.
Show me where we're going though.
Just this land right here, the Wiggles Coffin property, is all in R10. This is for sale. This is going to get developed.
Like how?
By approval, a process, and
like how many houses could
plan.
go on that?
I think about 12.
12?
I'm not sure.
There's one house there now, and there's going to be 12.
But it's in the middle of all that land in R10 zoning.
I know.
It's now. I'm going to show you two spots. No, you're doing great. Just keep going.
All right.
I want to show you a spot.
To me before I get to it.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So this is Parker Lane right here. See all this land in here?
Yes.
Look at how big this hunk of land is.
Yeah. Right.
Now there is land that is all buildable in R10.
Tell people what R10 means.
Quarter acre.
Tell them what
10,000 square foot lots.
Okay.
That's what this
10,000.
is.
Got it.
That's what you're seeing here.
Got it.
This project here, we just passed it, is all already allowed. It just was never built.
Yes.
Like, so you see Ron Bamber running around talking about with he's saying, going to meetings and saying, well, all this land that's buildable. Well, we already know that.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly sure why he suddenly is saying this. It's all stuff that we already know. But somebody that has a buildable lot now for years isn't in front of the next guy. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
Sure.
Like, you all have a right to build no matter who you are.
Yeah.
If you have that right.
Right.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
So now down here, I know where you're going, so I'm just going to bring it up really fast. So the Malcolm property, which we're at right now, was in Lug 2. It's almost 14 acres. It's like 13.8 or whatever it is. And we tried to change the zoning to LUG1 5 times.
Which would have made it
just 1 acre, like right across the street.
Yep.
All the neighbors that are right here, you have R40 actually, which is a little better than.
Go in here and spin around.
Yep, which is a little better than Lug 1. You get a little bit more ground cover, about 3% more ground cover. And the voters defeated it. It was a way to get when one person owns that much land. I mean, it's going to get sold to somebody that's going to do something to it. Now, at the same time, this is the land that I sold.
This is yours.
No, it is not. That was not true. It was said in your van last drive. This is the acre land that I sold to Ryan Fitch. He built three houses on it.
Yep.
And I was able to build my house.
Where's your house?
It's out around the other end.
I see.
Okay. This is a road that was laid out many, many years ago in the original Plimpton subdivision.
That's nice.
Yeah, he did a really nice job. This is the reason I sold it to him. This was all I met with him.
Gorgeous.
Asked him what he was going to do, and what we worked on it together as far as what was going to look like. And and it's good.
So eventually this is going to get done too, right?
Well, I mean, you don't want to say that. I don't know. Sure. Is it going to be houses? Yes. It's not commercial zoning.
It's not going to be a junkyard.
It's not commercial zoning. That is.
It's storage right now, but
it's grandfathered right now, but this is going to be something else at some point in time.
Right.
At some point in time. I mean, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
And there's no reason it shouldn't be. What should it be? Like this? Forever? That's not going to happen.
No.
I mean, Gino, look, 68% of the island is unbuildable.
Okay, but you didn't answer my question.
Oh, go ahead.
Remember that? The
Which
question
one?
about if you could change it.
Okay, let me get back to that. So that's why I want to get to the Bill Klein thing. So what he said, but he knew that the zoning allowed a lot. He knew it could explode, but they didn't think I'm not blaming him. I'm just telling you the mindset in the 80s was, well, nobody's building it now, so they're not going to build it tomorrow. Just like Mizzenmast. If we drove down Mizzenmast, in fact, I do want to go down there and show you what the planning board did that no one knows about.
Show me. How do I get
something positive that no one knows either, except the neighbors. So all that land that was in RC2 can be 5,000 square foot lots, okay, with 50% ground cover. That's crazy. That's like downtown, okay? It was left hanging out there until 2006 because no one was really building to that level where they could yet. So it's hard to make the case to somebody that's, let's just say angry about today's building and say, well, we prevented building in another 20 years a lot of subdivision. Now, you see, so that's what I'm going to show you in two areas.
All right, show me.
Just so you can understand it.
All right. So getting back to my question, if
there was instead of trying to do things like limiting cars in the 90s and limiting building permits, we should have been changing zoning to new districts that we were invent new districts. Andrew and Leslie came up with all these new districts: C-Tech, CN, the limited ones that we just came up with, this R10 limited one, CI, the downtown one is called CMI, the downtown one is CDT, commercial downtown, and the Mid-Island one is CMI. A lot of the zoning, the stuff that was allowed under some of the commercial back in the day is not stuff we want today. We want to change zoning to allow what's being done now, what we want, like getting rid of parking requirements downtown. Should have happened years ago. Well, you picked me up down there today.
Yeah.
When we go back, I'll show you the Annie and the T's building. That's the worst planning board decision ever, because they required that parking lot behind the building. It screwed up the whole street. To this day, it is a disaster.
Okay, so that
should have been no parking.
That's fine tuning, but the bigger picture
is the
growth.
big chunks.
But as far as the growth and the amount of people that come here, you would have
because of Hyannis.
Well, no,
nobody thought about it then.
Nat,
it's true.
It's not. There's a faucet, and let's call it a faucet.
Okay.
You could have had the faucet a quarter way open instead of fully open. Do you think it's fully open right now?
It's the love of the island that's fully open. People like it here. They show up here and they just like it.
Yeah, but you want to make people not like it? Do you want to put skyscrapers up on Surfside?
No, there's never going to be.
And make it a resort? Well, why don't you do that? What's holding you back from that then?
Well, first of all, the 30 feet, we're never going to get past that.
Oh, okay, but what I'm saying is, if you could get past it, would you?
No.
You wouldn't want to have resort-style high-rises out there.
Why would I want that?
Well, that's the point I'm making. I'm trying to get from where do you put a limit on your idea of growth?
And you drove past Bartlett Road. Oh. We're supposed to take a left over there.
You got to tell me.
You're getting all upset.
I'm not getting angry, though. I'm excited about it.
Turn around over here.
I'm going to turn here.
This used to be, remember what this used to be?
Well, this got
one house.
One house.
That big house down, that was all there was.
So the point is that I want you to answer that question because
it's hard to answer. I mean, the zoning was allowed so much for so long. How would you have unwound it? You would have had to have
argued. You have always argued for growth.
No, I didn't. I'm not arguing for growth.
For the rights of well,
there's a difference.
Okay, let's talk about that.
What do you think we are, matadors running around telling people to build a house?
Well, wait a minute. Listen to my argument.
Okay.
Whoever made the plan that decided on zoning, where to put zoning, whenever
that was 1972.
Okay.
That was three people.
So that's what my question was. If you could go back and if you were to change
that's like saying they shouldn't have built the Boston Garden without air conditioning. Come on.
I mean,
but
it's never too late to do the right thing, isn't it?
You're kind of getting a little.
But we're talking. It doesn't matter.
I know. I want to go to. Okay, that's all I'm running out of time.
So is it ever too late to do the right thing? Is it too late, or do we just allow it?
So now that question there, that makes a little bit more sense to me to understand what you're asking. Okay, so that goes back to we didn't really do anything major until the mid-2000s. So when you say What could we have done more? Well,
or less.
If we changed zoning
or
in the mid-90s, we could have done more.
We had a comprehensive plan. Remember that?
That failed. By that was foolish. There was stuff in there about going to New Bedford from Nantucket, so let's not go down that road. You're never going to limit cars. You're not going to limit.
That's totally true.
You're never going to limit cars. There's too much freedom now. Look at the marijuana situation. We couldn't ban swimming pools.
No, but could you? Yeah, but you may not ban cars. But
you're never going to limit cars here. The car limit is already happening by the degree of difficulty just to get here. And look at Brian Turbot just gave us I forgot what the number was now, but there's a lot of money getting generated from those cars that are registered here sitting in garages.
But is it always got to be about money?
Wait a minute. I didn't say that's why. I'm glad there's cars here.
Yeah,
I'm just saying that's true.
I'm challenging you. Don't get me wrong.
Back in the day, the cars that were in garages had New Jersey plates, Florida plates, New York plates. Nobody had them registered on the island back in the day. They do now because a lot of people are here for 6 months instead of 2.
Right.
The demographic, the use of the island, the fall, the economy up to Stroll has changed everything. Okay, this place is feeding so many people beyond what it ever did back when I was landscaping in Wisconsin, cutting the bluff path with a lawnmower and mower. I mean, it was a different time.
Yep.
Watch out for the new beautiful stop sign.
I know it.
Don't try it. I drove through it twice so far.
I haven't done it yet. I mean, I've been good.
I drove through it with the gas truck. I almost fainted. But anyway, yeah. So down here, we'll talk. This was all RC2. This was Gibby Wires. Remember him?
Yep.
And something's going to be happening over here, I think. But this was Everett Lamb's shop down below, right here.
Yeah.
Back in the days. Look at it now.
Tell me where Mizzen Mast is.
Keep going.
Okay.
That's
30 acres. Remember that?
Something's going to end up happening here.
Oh yeah.
But this is all RC2. Some of it's still here. This was all RC2 because the landowners here back then didn't want zoning, so they were given. It was actually RC, which is even worse.
What's the difference between
RC2 doesn't allow hotels like RC did.
Okay.
That was the thing that happened with the Japanese development people that were going to build the hotels in Naushop. That's when they raced to town meeting and switched RC to RC2.
Okay. All right.
That was where that came from.
All right.
Now, it's very.
Mizzen Mast down here.
Mizzen Mast is down here on the left.
Yeah.
So all the lots on the right side, Friendship, Enterprise, are R20, half acre. Just so you know.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Down. Take a left here.
Yep.
This development here. What do we got going on over here? People burning their leaves and stuff. Hold on. I'm getting a phone call. This was RC2, developed in 85, 86, and left in RC2. Okay?
Which means, for people who
all
are seeing this,
5,000 square foot lots by approval not required could have happened here when the 30-year deed restriction ran out. So most of the lots in Mizzen Mast area are like under 20,000. They're like 18, 17. They're big, small. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If this was left alone and not fixed, all these lots could have been subdivided. So this land is in now R10 limited.
Okay.
R10 is quarter acre. We created this little limited thing. That was Andrew and Leslie come up with that limited thing. This is the first place we did this in, where the second dwelling is a special permit. They were already allowed to build a garage apartment, which is kind of like the same thing as a second dwelling. So we were like wondering why that. Back in the day, weird stuff got decided. It didn't really make a lot of sense, but at the time, they thought it did. People weren't thinking about the second or third dwelling then. So all this land is now cannot be subdivided, but they can put a second dwelling. They have more ground cover because the lots are oversized a little bit, so they have a benefit, a little, but they can't subdivide. So this neighborhood, in all intents and purposes, has been preserved as is, but with small growth, little one-at-a-time things, I call it.
Yeah.
You'll see a little something over here, a little something over there.
Yeah.
But you're not going to see subdividing a lot, lifting a house, turning it around, putting it in the corner to make room. You won't see that. I'm going to show you a spot on the corner of Raceway and Clara
Okay.
to show you what happens when you leave it in RC2.
All right.
Okay.
We'll head over there now.
If you want to. Oh yeah, that's right over this way. I'm sorry, I'm getting myself. You've spun me around. I'm going the wrong way in my head. Yes.
Yeah.
Take a left down here, but I just want you to understand.
Okay, I got it.
That this entire neighborhood loves the planning board but it's not on the front page.
Okay.
It just happened at town meeting. Nobody even called the article, so no one talks about it. So it just happened.
And I'll tell you, I know people that live in here. They love it.
They are so. I went into a lady's house after that happened.
This is one of the nicer neighborhoods on the island.
They don't need the speed bump. You need a speed hump, not a bump. The humps are better.
They don't need it?
You need the ones that are gradual.
Yeah.
You don't need these. You need the ones like on Lily Street. Perfect. Yeah. Those are good because you don't knock things.
Do you have any control over that?
No, this is a private road. They did that on their own. Watch out for this bike.
I see
that, Gino?
I'm on top of it. I see it all. I've been doing this too long.
Be careful. This needs these pushes.
So you're a control freak. That's
no, I'm not. I don't want you to hit the bike. Is that okay? Jesus.
Yeah, I touched
control what? I just don't want you to hit a bike.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so all this is up in here is C-Tech.
Which means you're educated.
C-Tech is, we switch RC2 to C-Tech.
Which means?
For most of what you see down here in all the commercial area. Like
what does that mean, though?
C-Tech is a smaller mixed-use commercial. Now,
let's go in here quick.
I want to talk about this development in here. Gray Lady thing.
Yep. I haven't even been in here. I saw it from the distance, but look at this.
Okay, so this here. Okay, now we got concessions with this.
Okay.
It doesn't seem like much, but basically, it's being built under an R5.
Which means
zoning, even though it's not R5.
Okay.
R5 is the new R1. Okay. That's the commercial pool there.
Commercial?
Not commercial. I meant the neighborhood. I didn't mean
so this is becoming popular.
This is for the because the lots are really small. They don't need to have a pool on every lot.
No, that's a good idea, though.
So in this particular thing, look, I don't know if this is going to work here. I question.
The pool?
No, this development. This area is not high end.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But this is the problem.
They're trying to do a little high end.
Well, you've got Finback.
Yeah.
Which is the sort of spec trophy stuff. Which is really nice. And this is sort of mimicking it a little bit. Okay. Except
Did I just pass sewer?
Yes, this sewer goes down to the pump station. No, there's a pump station down in Mizamath, so they ran a line, gravity line down here.
Oh, they did.
Yes.
But there's no sewer going this way.
Yes, there is.
Oh, there is.
I'll explain that in a second.
Right.
So there's something just got run up here to the. Oh my God. There's a low pressure line running in here. That's why all this is turned up.
Okay.
See this? See these green sticks?
Yes.
It got run down to here.
Oh, all right. Right to here.
Yeah.
And then what's the plan?
Well, this is why, and now you're bringing up a whole other topic.
I know.
I was in favor of Manicat Sewer because this was going to get done basically for nothing.
Yeah, I see.
This needs to be sewered out here. It's ridiculous.
No, but
it should have been sewered in '84.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
This road was dirt.
Sure.
When you go to 3M subdivision, which is where we're going to go now, which is another success story, slightly different than the one we just left, but similar. The first one in 2009, we got to do this. This was dirt. When this was done, the Ralph Marble land out here and the 3M subdivision, this should have been gravity sewer. There should have been a huge pump station built here. Nope. It just didn't get done. Weren't thinking. It just wasn't.
I know.
So all these places, there's water out here, but it's not going to every house.
Right.
They got fire protection to Ralph Marble's old house. You'll see the hydrant. It just got run down dock rider by a private entity.
Where am I going?
This right here, what you're seeing right here in this corner.
Can I get in that way from here?
Take a left here, but all this development you see on this corner is because it was left in RC2, and I'm going to tell you how that happened.